galaxy was quiet, too quiet, like a giant creature holding its breath. Every star system lived in peace, trading, exploring, and arguing over small things. Only one species felt something different. Only one world sensed danger in the dark. Earth. For months, strange signals touched Earth's long-range scanners. They came from deep space, far beyond the last mapped star. The signals were faint, broken, and filled with fear. Human scientists studied them day and night, and one message appeared again and again: run. But no one knew who sent it, or what it was warning them about. Earth shared these signals with the Galactic Council, but the alien diplomats only laughed politely. Humans were still young, still new to the galaxy, still emotional. The void plays tricks on inexperienced minds, they said. There is no threat. Relax. So Earth stood alone with its fear. Then, one night, the sky changed. It started with a pulse. A wave of silent light passed through the solar system, invisible to most species, but not to humans. Every satellite shook, every ship alarm screamed, and every human felt something cold move across their skin, like a shadow without form. That the first blow struck Mars. A research station simply vanished, not destroyed, erased, cut away from reality like a page torn from a book. The second blow came minutes later. Earth's moon trembled as something enormous passed behind it. Cameras captured only a shape, bigger than mountains, moving without sound, without light, without mercy. The galaxy watched the footage in silence. Aliens leaned close to their screens, their eyes wide, their breath thin. They had never seen anything like it. Something old was waking, something that hunted entire civilizations, and it had chosen Earth first. On the planet's surface, fear spread like wildfire. Cities panicked, families hid, leaders argued. Everyone had one question: why us? In the middle of this chaos stood Commander Rylon Shaw, head of Earth Defense Command. He stared at the screen showing Mars turning into a broken red storm. His voice shook, but his resolve did not. They think we are weak, he said. They think we will fall fast. His officers looked at him, confused and afraid, until Rylon spoke again, his tone calm and dangerous. They are wrong. Earth activated systems that had never been used before. Deep underground bunkers opened. Dark metallic walls shifted and revealed colossal weapons built in secret. Old prototypes, risky experiments, and forgotten war machines hummed back to life. Humanity always prepared for the worst, because history had taught them one truth: survival is never guaranteed. Above the planet, the ancient enemy arrived. It appeared like a wound in space, a tear spreading open. Tentacles of black energy reached toward Earth like hungry fingers. The galaxy watched in fear. Every species whispered the same thought: this is the end of humanity. But Earth did not bow. Earth did not run. Earth struck back. Energy cannons lit the sky. Massive shields wrapped the planet. Invisible weapons trapped the enemy's first attacks. Human pilots launched without hesitation. Roaring into the void, the galaxy watched in silence and in fear, as a young species refused to die. For the first time in 1,000 years, the ancient enemy hesitated. Humanity had become something unexpected, something dangerous, something worth fearing. The real war had just begun. The ancient enemy expected Earth to fall quickly. Every world they had attacked before collapsed within minutes. Planets burned, civilizations vanished, and no species ever fought back for long. But humanity was different. They were loud, emotional, unpredictable, and stubborn to the point of madness. And when pushed, they became something even the galaxy did not understand. They became dangerous. Commander Rylon Shaw stood in the command center, surrounded by blue holograms of the invading force. His team monitored every movement of the enemy fleet. Death-like tendrils of dark energy spread across the solar system, swallowing light and space both. One officer whispered, "Sir, this thing has destroyed 30 civilizations. We are next." Rylon answered with calm steel in his voice, "Not today." Deep under Earth's crust, hidden bunkers vibrated to life. Massive reactors glowed white-blue. Old machines, once considered too risky to use, now hummed with deadly power. Humanity had built them long ago, not for war, but for survival against the unknown. They never expected to use them, but humans always prepared for the worst, because humans understood fear better than any species in the galaxy. In orbit, Earth's defense ships formed a shining wall. They were smaller than the enemy, weaker, and far less advanced, but they carried something no other species had: human will. Pilot Arya Trent launched from the carrier Vanguard. Her hands shook, not from fear, but from fury. She had seen the Mars station vanish. She had watched people she knew disappear like dust. As her fighter shot through the void, she whispered to herself, "They think we will break, but we don't break." The enemy moved with terrifying grace. Its shape was not a ship, not a creature, something in between, a living void, feeding on reality itself. Where it passed, stars dimmed. Where it touched, matter died. It reached toward Earth, expecting no resistance. Then humanity struck back. Thousands of missiles launched at once, cutting through the darkness like falling stars. Energy beams lit the sky bright blue. Explosions echoed across space. The first wave hit the enemy and vanished. As if swallowed, silence filled the command center. Officers stared at the screen. Rylan clenched his fists but did not lose hope. He knew humans. He knew what came next. Humans always tried the impossible, then tried again if it failed. "Prepare, Phase 2, he ordered. His engineers hesitated. "Sir, Phase 2 is untested. If it fails, then we die. And if we do nothing, we still die." The order went through. On the moon's far side, a secret weapon awakened. Project Starfire, a giant cannon built from Earth's first experiments in dark energy. Manipulation, a weapon so unstable it was sealed away forever. Until now, the cannon charged, pulling energy from the moon's surface. Cracks formed across the crater walls. Dust floated into space. The whole moon trembled. Rylan watched the energy levels rise. He whispered, "Come on, just hold together." The enemy noticed the cannon. It turned toward the moon, preparing to erase it. Pilot Arya saw the shift. Without waiting for orders, she moved her fighter into the void between the moon and the enemy. "Arya, fall back." Her commander shouted. "No," she said, steady and fearless. "If it wants the moon, it has to go through me." Every pilot followed her. A wall of human ships blocked the enemy's attack, each one ready to die. The galaxy watched in shock. No species had ever stood in the path of this monster. But humans were different. The cannon reached full power. The moon glowed bright white. Then a beam of pure starfire erupted. It tore through the darkness, ripping the void open with soundless fury. It hit the enemy directly. For the first time ever, the ancient destroyer screamed. Its body twisted, breaking apart like shattered glass. It recoiled in pain and emotion no one thought it could feel. Aliens across the galaxy watched in disbelief. Earth had hurt the unstoppable. Earth had made the nightmare bleed. God Commander Rylan exhaled slowly. His voice was quiet but powerful. "Tell the galaxy," he said, "humanity refuses to die." And far away, in the deep void, the enemy began to change its tactics. It had underestimated the humans. Now, it was angry. The real battle was only beginning. The ancient enemy retreated for the first time in centuries. Across the galaxy, thousands of alien eyes watched their screens, unable to believe what they were seeing. This creature, this cosmic predator, had wiped out empires 10 times older than humanity. It consumed planets, silenced suns, and fed on the life of entire star systems. Nothing had ever slowed it, nothing had ever hurt it, until Earth. The enemy hung in the dark like a wounded shadow, its body cracking with glowing fractures. It no longer moved with calm confidence. It moved with anger. Commander Rylan stood in the Earth Defense Command, watching the enemy through holographic visuals. His officers whispered to each other, fear mixing with hope. "Sir, if that was only its first form, what happens now?" Rylan answered quietly, "Now we learn what we are truly fighting." In deep space, the enemy began to shift. Its dark shape peeled open like the petals of a dying flower. Inside, something far worse awakened. A second form, a creature built for war. 6 massive appendages unfolded, dripping black energy that dissolved nearby asteroids. 3 glowing cores appeared across its chest, pulsing like beating hearts, and its eyes 12, burning white eyes opened, one by one, staring toward Earth. The galaxy trembled. For centuries, alien historians had tried to understand this monster. Some called it a god of hunger. Some called it a living black hole. Others believed it was a weapon built by an extinct race. But one fact was the same in every story. Where it arrived, civilizations died. But this time, something was different. This time, its prey fought back. On board the carrier Vanguard, pilot Arya Trent wiped sweat from her forehead. Her fighter floated in formation with hundreds of others. Her ship's sensors shook as the enemy transformed. She whispered, "So that's your real face." Beside her, other pilots tried to stay calm. "The thing is angry," one said. "It wants revenge," another added. Arya replied, "Good, that means we scared it." In the command center, alarms suddenly screamed. The enemy charged. A wave of dark energy exploded from its cores, rushing toward Earth. Not a beam, not a blast, a tide. A living tide that erased everything in its path. Ryland's voice cut through the chaos. "Activate all shields. Redirect satellites. Prepare fallback formations." But everyone knew the truth. Nothing in human history had been built to stop something like this. Then something strange happened. The wave slowed. Not because of Earth's defenses, not because of luck, but because the enemy itself hesitated. It was studying humanity, watching their reactions, trying to understand something it had never understood before. Why humans fought even when they should have surrendered. Why humans attacked even when they were outmatched. Why humans survived when logic said they should be dead. The enemy leaned closer, its 12 white eyes burning with curiosity. It had hunted thousands of species, but none behaved like these small, fragile creatures. Humans were not the strongest, not the fastest, not the oldest, but they were the most dangerous because they refused to die quietly. Back on Earth, scientists decoded new readings from the enemy's energy. Dr. Lysa Monroe stared at the data in horror. "Commander, this creature doesn't feed on planets. It feeds on fear." Ryland froze. "Fear, yes," she said, voice shaking. "It grows stronger when species surrender, when they break, when they accept death." Ryland's eyes narrowed. "But humans didn't break." Dr. Lysa nodded. "That's why it's confused, and why it's angry." Arya's voice crackled over comms. "So the thing expects fear?" "Yes," Dr. Lysa replied. "Then give it something else," Arya said, fire in her voice. "Give it a reason to fear us." The galaxy continued to watch in silence as Earth's small fleet turned toward the ancient destroyer. Human ships, damaged and outnumbered, flew forward anyway. The enemy, for the first time in its eternal life, felt something new. Not hunger, not victory, but doubt. And humanity was ready to turn that doubt into terror. The real strike was coming, and the galaxy was about to witness what humans could truly do. The ancient destroyer floated in the darkness. Its 12 burning eyes focused on Earth. Its fractured armor pulsed like a wounded star, but its power was still terrifying. Galactic observers held their breath as the creature spread its massive limbs, preparing to finish what it began. No world had ever fought it twice. No species had survived its full attention. But humanity was not like other species. Humanity did the impossible, again and again. Commander Ryland Shaw stood before the strategy table, its blue holograms projecting the enemy's shifting form. His officers waited for orders, fear flickering behind their determined eyes. Ryland spoke slowly, clearly. "Today we stop running." A hush fell over the room. "We take the fight to the monster." Gasps filled the command center. One officer stammered, "Sir, no species has ever attacked it directly," Ryland answered. "That is why those species are gone." Far above Earth, the carrier Vanguard prepared for its most dangerous launch. Pilot Arya Trent tightened her gloves, staring at the creature's glowing silhouette. Her fighter trembled with weapon overload. She knew the risks. She knew many of her team would not make it back. But her voice was calm as she spoke into the calm. "Humanity stands because we push forward, not back." Her squadron answered together, "For Earth." But the humans were not going alone. Deep beneath Antarctica, an enormous metal chamber opened like an awakening beast. Inside rested Project Helios, humanity's last and most secret weapon, a ship built from stolen alien tech, forbidden experiments, and human insanity. It was not elegant, it was not safe, but it was powerful. As the chamber opened, frost shattered off its hull. Engines roared alive, shaking the ice above. A communications officer whispered, "My God, they actually built it." Ryland nodded. "It was never meant to fly, but neither were we meant to survive." Project Helios rose into the sky like a blazing spear, its engines tearing clouds apart as it climbed toward space. Its mission was simple: pierce the destroyer's core, end the threat forever. The galaxy watched in silence as the massive ship joined the fleet. Alien leaders spoke in whispers. "The humans are insane." "No, they are brave. They may win. They may doom us all." The destroyer sensed the approaching threat. Its cores glowed brighter, preparing another massive pulse that could erase half the solar system. Time was running out. Rylan locked eyes with his team. Begin Operation Dawnstrike. Every officer moved at once. Earth's satellites shifted position. Drones linked into a single network. Shields reformed into a new pattern. All of Earth's technology old and new combined into one united system. The sky turned bright white. The destroyer released its pulse. A wave of reality and darkness raced toward Earth, but humanity was ready. The satellite grid opened like a net. The drones amplified each other. The shields bent light, energy, space itself, and for the first time ever, the destroyer's ultimate attack broke apart. The pulse scattered into harmless fragments, dissolving before reaching the planet. The monster froze, its eyes widening. It had never been stopped. Not once, not by anyone. Arya saw the hesitation. She whispered, "That's fear. It's feeling fear." Rylan slammed a fist onto the console. Helios. Now. Project Helios accelerated, engines burning so bright they left trails across the void. The ship pierced through the black clouds around the monster. Human fighters followed, forming a spear of light driving into the darkness. The destroyer screamed. A soundless shockwave rippled through space as Helios struck the first core. The core cracked, then shattered in a blinding explosion. The galaxy trembled. The destroyer reeled in pain, its body twisting violently. Never in its ancient existence had anything torn into it. Never had anything broken its sacred cores. Rylan's voice echoed across the fleet. "This is humanity. We do not bow. We strike back." And now the monster had only one choice left. Fight with everything it had, or flee for the first time in history. The final battle was about to begin. The ancient destroyer writhed in the dark void, its broken core spilling bright cracks across its massive body. The galaxy watched the broadcast in silent terror. For the first time in countless ages, the creature was wounded, truly wounded, and not by an empire, not by a god, not by a civilization, but by humanity, a species the galaxy had once called young, reckless, emotional, and insignificant. Now, the galaxy no longer used those words. Commander Rylan Shaw stood on the command deck, eyes locked on the monster's shifting form. Around him, officers whispered updates. "Sir, Core 1 destroyed. Core 2 destabilizing. Enemy power dropping by 60%, but no one celebrated. They all knew the same truth. A wounded beast was always the most dangerous. The destroyer roared, sending a shockwave across the battlefield. Its 12 burning eyes turned from fear to hatred. Black tendrils extended, twisting like blades. It began forming a strike powerful enough to erase the entire solar system. Rylan spoke calmly. "This is its final attack." In the fighter wing, pilot Arya Trent heard the words. Her ship shook violently as she dodged a wave of dark energy. "Then this is our final stand," she whispered. The destroyer gathered a sphere of collapsing space between its hands. Stars dimmed, light bent. Even time seemed to hold its breath. If that attack fired, everything would end. Rylan turned to the comm officer. "Transmit to Helios." Project Helios floated close to the monster, its hull scorched, engines failing, but still alive. Its pilot, Captain Jonah Reeves, responded with a steady voice, ready for the last run. Commander Rylan inhaled slowly. "Jonah, humanity is trusting you." Jonah smiled softly. "It always comes down to one of us doing something stupid." And then Helios plunged straight into the heart of the monster. The galaxy watched, frozen. Human fighters swarmed around the destroyer, firing, distracting, burning through enemy armor. Arya flew so close that pieces of the monster scraped her ship. Her voice echoed through comms. "Keep it busy. Give Helios a path." The destroyer turned its mouth, its infinite hunger toward Helios. It unleashed the beginning of its final attack, a gravitational beam that erased anything it touched. Jonah forced the ship forward, alarms blaring. Metal peeled off, wings melted, lights died. But the ship kept moving. Rylan whispered, "Come on, come on." The galaxy held its breath. Jonah drove Helios straight into the destroyer's final core, and he activated the Nova engine, a weapon meant to never be used. A weapon made for one purpose, to end monsters. A blinding white light swallowed space. The destroyer's scream tore through the void. Its body exploded into 1,000 shards, each dissolving into golden dust. The ancient terror of the galaxy was gone. Humanity had done the impossible. Silence filled the battlefield. Then slowly, one by one, human pilots whispered the same word: victory. Rylan stood motionless, closing his eyes for a moment of respect. "Goodbye, Jonah," he murmured. Earth sent a single message across the galaxy, a simple broadcast, a calm voice, a human voice. "This is Earth. The monster is dead. We fought because we had no choice. We survived because we refused to surrender. Let the galaxy remember this. Humanity desires peace, but we are not weak. Never mistake kindness for fear, and never threaten our home again." Across thousands of alien worlds, leaders listened silently. Children gathered around